Right now, we have a caller from the Chicago area. Go ahead. Please let us know where you're from and what's your name.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Khalil. This is your brother, Rasul Muhammad. And
how you doing, Brother Rasul?
Man, I'm doing better now that I'm talking to you. I haven't had the pleasure of hearing your show until now, and I just saw your post on my Facebook page and thought I'd call in and just say an encouraging word to you. First, that I love you, I'm your brother, and I'm looking forward to Almighty God, Allah, using you as a vehicle to inspire, encourage, motivate, and enlighten our people, whoever will call in to your show, toward the recognizing of the power that they have. Power is capacity. And recently, if I may make just this quick comment, I know you're narrowing it down with these last few short minutes. Recently, with President Obama, who came here to Chicago, and they've been putting it, of course, on the news, how he shed tears and said a few words about how it makes him mad, quoting him, with the killings, the senseless killings, and they are of our people. Now, regardless to how much critique we can make toward the president, regardless to how much critique we can make of any and everybody, and we do that all the time, all too well, but that moment of humanity is something that is very rare in the history of this country from the position of the President of the United States of America. And I want to say to all of us as black men, remembering the words of Sun Tzu in The Art of War, who said, "In time of war, prepare for peace. In time of peace, prepare for war." The Honorable Louis Farrakhan tells us that time dictates the agenda. And right now, we are at a time of war. Our agenda, if we believe in Almighty God, Allah, should be to prepare for peace. Prepare for what we say in the religion of Islam, the hereafter. That means right here, after the enemy and his oppressive rule is removed. But this will be done by God. But we have to be prepared not to die for the cause, but to live for it. Brother Khalil, my prayers and my hopes is that Allah will bless you in all of your efforts to enlighten us more and more and more. Thank you.
Well, Brother Rasul, I want to first of all thank you for calling into the show. As always, we appreciate your words, your comments whenever you speak. Very powerful. I'm always enlightened by what you say and what you share. I have not yet personally been able to in the physical sense, sit under your tutelage. But every time I hear you, I'm definitely pleased and praised. First of all, the other thing I'd like to say that this is a show that I'm a part of. I'm a part of the Griot Nation with Amon Rashidi. We know that this is brother to brother with Amon Rashidi. He's on the line. So I would definitely like to turn it over to Brother Amon Rashidi so he could have a conversation with you and say something to you. He is a friend and a helper in the sense of the word. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan always says that you have an army that you see and an army that you don't see. With the Griot Nation, along with Amon Rashidi and Pearlie Gates and Brother Victor Muhammad and Ezra J and Brother Unseen, they're doing the work on the ground, the boots on the ground in the community, but are not technically, part of the Nation of Islam. So, Amon Rashidi, if you would like to say something and speak to what Brother Rasul just shared, go ahead at this time.
Well, first of all, Brother Rasul, I want to say thank you, brother, and I appreciate you, Asana. And we can never get enough of wisdom and humility because that's the foundation of our character. And I think sometimes we lose that. I think we've been given a template as to what liberation really is. And if someone who is your enemy gives you a template, you can rest assured that formula is a formula for disaster. What we are doing is the formula. This is the formula for change. about us caring, looking after, and protecting. We say the primary responsibility of a man is to provide, to produce, and protect, and live socially responsible. But we have to do that for each other first. And when people see us closing rank and loving our brothers with brotherhood, you're not as quick to put your hands on us. I've said this before in the past. There's a reason why you see so many brothers in the nation, FOIs. You may see them in the community. You may see them out and about. You may see them engaging people in small groups and large groups. But regardless, you don't see the police running up on them. There's a reason they don't try to be bad. Those are some of the most humble brothers you'll meet. They follow the law. They respect the law. But these polices know that if you put your hands on them, there's an organization, that there's leadership, that there's going to be some level of response, because for over 60 to 80 years, you've seen this structure. And all we're saying now is, with Griot Nation, we got to take the boots on the ground initiative to the next level through art and through activism. And know that COINTELPRO now is Homeland Security. And I can tell you firsthand what that feels like. I can go with what I just dealt with the last hour and a half. But we're not going to be stopped. And I want to say one other thing in reference to the resocialization in the post-Obama era. President Obama ran as an African-American male initially when he started to run for the Senate in Chicago as a community organizer. And how ironic that a community organizer who is in office now is assisting in the eroding of all the social services. The social services, when you start talking about sociology, you're talking about teaching people how to live, how to fill in the gaps when the mother and the father, when there's dysfunctions and the family's been fractured. So now you've got people like college professors. Do you all know that 34,000 college professors, black college professors, with 1 or 2 more PhDs on welfare, and those numbers are steadily climbing? They are destroying those systems, bro. So that means, and then you got teachers with social programs. They don't even give grants to these people anymore. So we have to exist. And brother Rasul, I can't say enough in reference to the wisdom that we will need as we go forward. When we're angry, when we're upset, the voice of wisdom will keep us balanced as we go forward. And I just want to thank everybody. 2016, thank y'all.
Could I ask you, what is the meaning of the word, did you say Griot Nation?
Griot, yes sir. Yes sir.
What does that mean?
A griot is a storyteller. A griot is a historian. A griot at one time, according to West African traditions and throughout the diaspora of Africa, we've had griots prior to that. They were called jollies. They generally sat at the right hand of the king. They were trained to fight and know all the policies, but they had to go into the communities and through art and through entertainment tell people what was the decree of the king and the things that must be done. Whenever there were conflicts in the community, it was the griot's job to go in and mobilize the community and prepare them for whatever the leadership felt was necessary for us to move forward. And they used to be called griots. And because we made the transition into this new millennium, we call ourselves Griot and Griot Nation. We say we are a nation of forward-thinking, acting people taking responsibility for their lives right now. So we have our ways.
I'm a part of your Griot Nation, brother.
Yes, sir. I know you are. I know you are.
In the Holy Quran, I guess the word would be the poet. Because amongst every group, there are always the storytellers or those who pass down the oral traditions, of every people. And I think that this is very, very important. I just think it's also strategic that, as I just said, I'm part of the Griot Nation, and if you have a form or some kind of organizational structure whereby to be official, that one becomes registered as a member of the Nation of Islam and a student of the teachings of my father, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there is no bylaw that prevents me from becoming a member and a part of any organization that is geared toward the awakening, the spiritual and mental, intellectual and moral awakening of our people. So I want to be a part of your group. I want to be a part of your organization. And I want to promote that all of us become a part of each other. And that would take that I think would be a nice, gigantic leap forward in our efforts of unifying our people. Because if we're not unified, then all we have is a bunch of splinter groups that are, exercising a lot of energy, but it's not organized and it's not as effective as it could be. So as you were describing that, they don't mess with the FOI. Well, you're FOI. And Brother Khalil is FOI. And it only means fruit of Islam. And we've all drank from the fountain of the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad in one way or another. We have all drank from the fountain of the supreme wisdom of Master Fard Muhammad, going back to the early 1930s. Even Sweet Daddy Grace, Father Divine, the Prophet Jones, the Reverend Rutherford, and the Raphaelite movement that started in the late 30s and early 1940s that later became more the mainstream Kingdom Hall Jehovah's Witnesses. Then in the 50s and in the 60s, you name it, Jalil Alameen and H. Brown, rather, as he was known then, and Kwame Ture and our brother Dr. Maulana Karinga with the Kwanzaa movement in 1967 or 68. All of the Black Panther Party, everybody drank from the same fountain. Now we've got to find a way to move in a unified effort. In the Holy Quran, the Muslims read, says, that when Allah's help and victory comes, and thou seest men entering the religion of Allah in companies. The Griot nation is a company. The Christian, the black Christians are a nation. The Muslims are a nation. We have all of these different factions and organizations, but it is when we unify that effort that we can really begin to see the efficient and effectiveness of that power and the presence of God working through it, no matter what our diversity. And if I could say in closing that diversity must never be viewed today in this time and age that we're living in, diversity should never be viewed as adversity to our ability to work toward common goals and objectives that are for the good of the whole of our people. I love you, and I'm your brother to the death, but I don't want to die for the cause as much as I want to live for it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, beloved brother Amon and brother Khalil. I'm your brother, and I really only called in just to, give some kind of support because you were kind enough to put the advertisement on my page. And I just love my people, man. And I intend to die this way whenever God calls me back. So I'm your brother.
Yes, sir. And before I turn it back over to Amon, because I know he definitely has something to say before he closes out, once again, I want to thank you, Brother Rasul, and I hope you didn't mind me posting it on your wall. I know some people have some Facebook etiquette, like don't post it on my wall unless you got permission. But I want to thank you,
man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And you mentioned being a part of the Griot Nation and helping to promote. Well, one of the ways that, we do here at the Griot Nation, these are live shows. We take them. Some of them get played on national radio. Sometimes we take them, we chop them up. Well, I definitely want to take part of what you said, chop it up as a way to advertise that Brother Rasul spoke on Griot Nation Radio, or Brother to Brother with Amon Rashidi, this segment of the Griot Nation. So if that is okay with you, I would definitely love to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I stand by what I'm saying, and I can back it up with my life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I will turn it. That's right, dear brother. That's right. So praises be to Allah. I'm going to turn it back over to Amon. I know who will close us out so that we stay on time, even though this is a brother-to-brother call, and we could really extend it to 1:30 or something like that. But I know we try to stay on time so that we can, get it uploaded and do what we need to do so people will know how we operate. So go ahead, brother.
And Brother Khalil, that was the hook. That was the hook for me that made me call in. I didn't get a chance to hear the whole program, but that was the hook. I just looked at my Facebook page a minute ago as I was posting something and saw what you put on there as advertisement. the hook for me was brother to brother.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I am. I'm your
That's
brother to you, my brother. And yes, I'm Griot. I need a little help with that pronunciation. Griot or Griot?
That's it. That's it, sir.
Okay.
Griot.
I'm Griot Nation, man. Nation of Islam, Griot Nation, Black brother. You know,
Roger prayer line, all of that.
I'm a homie. And I love you, okay?
Love you too, brother.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, these are the things in life that we need. I lost Elder Zaki some years ago, and life for me changed a whole lot. Having Elder Zaki present and teaching me how to be streetwise when I was a youngster. As we developed teams and started to travel the country and the world and had the organization really moving. You know, even when I was unsure of certain things and people thought, well, he had all the answers, I didn't. I could go to him or I could go to Brother Quasi. And after losing him, there was that void. And hearing Brother Rasul, it's like I was hearing Rasul Muhammad all over again. And my love and respect being born in the church and being a young minister early, as 12 and 13, you know, I had questions. And it wasn't until I ran into Zaki those questions were answered. He never tried to convince me to be a Muslim. He just wanted me to be a better man. And that made me even curious about Islam if you wasn't trying to, you weren't trying to sell me on it. And for that, brother, I just want to say I feel like his spirit is being channeled when I heard you today. And not only that, having dealt with the establishment for about an hour and a half, I could have been angry and very frustrated, but I kept hearing his voice the whole while this process was going on. And I just want to say to you all, this isn't Memorex, this is live. I'm going to say that again. You know, when other people telling you to put your hands down and sit down, and you are a grown man, and people are questioning you about things that you know you've done to help this community and why you're associating with certain people. Since when do you live in a society that certain people you can't talk to? So we have to be aware of those things. And when sometimes you at your lowest low, that's when they come calling, and they know that you're there. And from this point on, it doesn't matter, you all, because we got goals and we got objectives. And I'm gonna close with this, man. As we go forward, our brotherhood will be the things that will save us. When women see us together, when women see us protecting each other, they feel safer. When children see us in uniform and collectively defending their integrity, we become men again in front of the world. And when he said the revolution won't be televised, people say, yes, it is. It's just happening out there. That's not the revolution. That's the mayhem. The revolution is happening behind closed doors. The revolution is a success that you don't know about. They won't see you coming. So with that, you all, I'm just saying, and if you get an opportunity, go to reclaimingthevillage.org. Once again, reclaimingthevillage.org. That is our financial way of financing our future. We have to, because believe me, they will not take care of us. They really haven't to begin with. We've only worked for them. And we've never been paid properly. We've always had double-digit employment, long before President Barak Obama came in. There was never been a time when black men have not had double-digit unemployment. So resources for us. And then when you take a man who's supposed to be the head of his house, but then try to clip his wings so he can't provide and produce, and that becomes a problem. And that's why so many men hit the streets. And they take what Malcolm said, by any means necessary, and they impose this ideology on their very people. We still got to save them too. But I want brothers to understand, when you're doing that, brother, and we warn you and we engage you, we won't continue to accept that either. So as we go forward, you all, it's going to have a code of conduct that we have to maintain. And many times there got to be consequences when they're violated. And that's not no over-the-top thing. That just means you got to have order. Because more important than any one man's life, as the Miles used to say thousands of years ago, is order. There's a reason why you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And when you take that alphabet, you can create words. And when you put words together, you can create language. And through language, you can start to make people move forward. But if it's not in order, it's just a bunch of letters.
Go ahead, brother.
So anyway, brother, thank you all. And Brother Rasul, I would like to get you on the air. I'm going to take the segment that Brother Khalil would and clip that, and I want that on our forum, brother. We have over 1.5 million listeners. We're going into syndication, and after that, we may be up to close to 3 million. That's a lot of people to talk to, brother.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but you're a wonderful, wonderful teacher and preacher, and you edify us in the struggle. May Almighty God, Allah, continue to bless you, dear brother. He's using you as a vehicle of His will. I hear it, I feel it, and I'm with it. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, brother. And I'd like to welcome Brother Khalil, as old folks said, those are the churches of I'd like to thank Brother Khalil, Brother Khalil, but Brother Rasul, Brother Khalil, for bringing the brother to the family. And as far as I'm concerned right now, he grandfathered in as a member of the nation.
Yes, sir.
Griot Nation. Not only that, we ain't going to stay with all the eyes. We just go on and accept that. And so definitely I'd like to get him on air with words of wisdom often as we can, on our commercial platform.
Well, I'm in there. I don't know what rank or title, but I'm in there. Bottom line. May Allah bless us all. Thank you so much again. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, brother.
It's your man Khalil Rashid of the Griot Nation. We're asking you to tune in and tune up every Wednesday at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern to Brother with Amon Rashidi, where we come together as men to discuss the important issues that need to be addressed within our community. Now let us be clear, the women are invited as well, because we already know that no nation rises higher than its women. So dial in to holler at your man Amon Rashidi at 605-562-3140. Access code 389-254#. Once again, that's 605-562-3140. Access code 389-254#. Every Wednesday at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Brother to Brother with Amon Rashidi. It's your man Khalil Rashid of the Griot Nation, asking everyone to connect with us on social media. Like, follow, and subscribe at Griot Nation Radio on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at Griot Radio, and find us on the web at www.griotnationradio.com.